I've started or restarted actually using this lotion that I used to use in sophomore year. It has a very distinct smell, so every time I put it on, it reminds me of that time between freshman and sophomore year. And all the memories of that summer just come flooding back because I associate them so highly with this smell because of the lotion that was always on my skin during that time. I think this is a really fascinating thing that humans have. We have responses to all sorts of sensory cues, and they're often related to memory. These cues can be from smell, like my lotion, or they can be from hearing a certain word. For me, the word tether will always remind me of playing tetherball in second grade. And obviously a big one is visual triggers. If you see a place that you went with somebody one time, then you'll probably remember that experience. So I've been thinking, and maybe it's kind of a weird thing to think about, but I'm wondering if at some point in my life, everything will remind me of something else. I want to know if I'll form an association for every word I come across. For tether, it's tetherball, but for other words, will I end up having a memory that I associate with every word that I hear? In 3rd and 4th grade, I did these workbooks called Wordly Wise in school, and it was to replace the regular reading curriculum because I had already passed that. I remember there was one section in which the words inept and adept were together, and whenever I hear either of those words, I automatically think about the time when I had to learn both of them in the same week and try to keep them separate. If I didn't have this strong association with those two words, I would probably honestly use them wrong. Also, in the video that I made a couple days ago talking about Lester, I said how every time we drive by the retirement home, my parents were prompted to ask me about him. And every time I drive past there, I think about him. That visual clue is so strongly associated with the memory that I just can't separate them. I just think it's so cool that our brains and our muscles can do that. We have muscle memory, and then also we can associate external senses to internal thoughts. And I just think that's the coolest thing, and being a human is awesome. Obviously, there's been a lot of research about conditioning and classical conditioning and things like Pavlov's dog. It just shows you how much we are creatures of habit. The reason that habits are hard to break is because we get so conditioned into them, and obviously sometimes it has negative ramifications, but other times it can have a lot of positive reinforcement. I love putting on this lotion again because it just reminds me so much of that time in my life, and I love thinking about that while I'm doing that because that's a time I don't think about very often. And so having kind of a designated space in which I can contain those memories is really cool. Tell me some of the things that you associate with other things. It can be taste, smells, sight, hearing, whatever. What are you conditioned to do and to think about based on your senses? I'll see you tomorrow.